Okay, so it's Christmas time, so that means cookies. So the only problem with Christmas cookies here is that we don't use white flour. We only use spelt flour that we grind ourselves, so it's whole grain. We also don't use white sugar. We only use either maple sugar, honey, or evaporated cane juice. So whenever I get recipes from other people, I have to adapt them to do what how we eat. So I have my brother-in-law's mom makes these amazing Christmas cookies. They're just sugar cookies, but they're the best sugar cookies I've ever had. So I got her recipe, and I'm going to be adapting it to our type of ingredients, and I'm going to see how they turn out. So, oh, the other thing is her recipe called for Crisco. We don't use Crisco, so I'm going to be using butter. So I want to see how this turns out. So first thing, I'm going to cream together butter and sugar. So I'm going to do half a cup of butter. And I'm going to do, so when you switch from white sugar to evaporated cane juice, which is what this is, you can use it a 1-to-1 ratio. But if you're going to use like maple sugar, which I use a lot, that you're going to have to use more maple sugar than you would normally use. Otherwise, it's not going to be sweet enough. So, I'm going to go with about a cup and a half. Yeah, cup and a half. Sorry, I'm transferring the recipe over while I'm doing this, so that's why I'm hesitating. So yeah, cup and a half of sugar, and then the half a cup of butter. And I'm just going to cream those together. To that, I'm going to add 2 eggs. These are our eggs. I like to make sure they're room temperature to make sure that they don't hinder any, I don't know, reactions with the recipe. So if you put cold into a recipe, it tends to bind everything up. And in some cases you want that, but I don't want this in this. So I'm going to add those 2 eggs, and then I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. Probably about a teaspoon, but I just kind of eyeball it. And my mixer keeps going. Usually I use my own vanilla that we make, but mine is still percolating in the basement, so I had to use store-bought. Okay, I need a spatula. Okay, to that I'll add just, it's like a tablespoon of milk. And this is the milk we get from our herd share, so this is raw milk. So just about a tablespoon. You notice I eyeball a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is the flour that we ground earlier today. This is our whole grain spelt flour. So I'm going to do about, oh, what is it? 7, about 3.5 cups of this. So I am a lazy baker. If I have to, I'll separate things out, but I'm going to try to just do this all in one bowl. And then to that, I get 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm just going to mix all that up. Okay, so here comes the interesting part, because this is a recipe I'm adapting. Because I used whole grain flour, this is soaking up a lot more moisture than I think it normally would. So it's looking kind of dry. So I'm actually going to add a little bit more milk to it. Okay, I'm going to try that, mix that up, and see how that looks. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. So I am going to do what I always like to do when I'm making a new recipe. And I give it to Nick to taste. He came to me. Okay.
I hear and taste.
More sugar. More butter.
Good.
Tastes good? Both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got Nick's approval. So this recipe calls to be chilled. So I am going to just kind of try to mash it all together as much as I can. I'm going to put plastic wrap down onto it so it doesn't dry out, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for several hours. I don't know if I'm going to have time to bake them tonight or if it's going to have to be tomorrow, but I will let you know in the next part. Okay, our dough has been sitting in the fridge for what, maybe 4 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Once I get it out of the bowl, it's really stuck in there. We're basically just going to be rolling these out flat. I don't know, about not quite 1/2 inch thick. And then use our cookie cutters and cut them out into shapes. And then I think I'm going to actually try making maple frosting and frosting them with that.
I'm going to look at the cookie cutters while you do that. We've got bunches of them. We just chose these because Leanne liked them.
Tree. Snowman.
The cookies didn't turn out quite like we thought. These did okay, but the ones up in this pan, it all kind of turned into one blob. So we took the cookie cutter and cut the cookies out of those. But the pieces taste really, really good. Like they're really tasty. Not bad.